everybody, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about maybe you're looking to travel down to Bentonville, Arkansas, check out the whole area. We need to talk about what are the things you need to do this spring, this summer in Bentonville when you're here. So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you like and share this video with a friend or family, that would make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas, obviously. So liking and also sharing just make sure that everyone can live, work, and play all in NWA. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Also, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. It sounds exactly what it is. Literally, it's a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. What is going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What are the hospitals like? What are the schools like? What are all the cool things happening in NWA? Like, literally, it's a package full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas, shipped right to your home. Literally, right to your home. So enter your address, your name below. Where can I ship this amazing package to? Just enter all that information below, and I'll make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool, in my opinion, but I'm a little biased. And. It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below, and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, so the first thing you need to make sure you do in Bentonville, Arkansas when you're coming here, now this might take a little bit of calendar moving, but we have something called First Fridays, and I'm guessing you know when the date is. It's a first Friday of every single month. But the thing I love about First Fridays, and actually the first Friday just happened last Friday, but the First Fridays are one of my favorite things in all of Northwest Arkansas. And you're probably thinking like, why? What's so special about First Fridays? It is literally the best block party you can have anywhere. Like obviously all in Bentonville, downtown square, vendors, food, cool things, axe throwing. Like there's like one wheels going everywhere, pets, people, there's bands going, there was like a talent show, like competition, this last one, and it's just so fun. 10, 15,000 people all come into blocks of downtown Bentonville. Obviously, they block it off, and it's a whole thing. So cool. It really just showcases that Bentonville, and specifically Northwest Arkansas in general, is just really a focused community on building a just amazing community. Like the one thing that they're really trying to avoid in Bentonville and also Northwest Arkansas is having like pocket communities everywhere. They want the community to come together in like one big central location or like one big party and just get to know each other because there's so many new people here. And so First Fridays is one of those things you need to make sure you kind of plan around. Obviously First Fridays. But another thing that I really love about First Fridays is that they're themed. Like they have Petapalooza, they have Art Fest, they have Oktoberfest, and they have one like the Great Outdoors. But my favorite one I'm really curious about, actually, Jolly Ranchers is hosting or kind of sponsoring the actual Art Fest. So anytime you see Jolly Ranchers, I'm like, I'll be there. But In Motion, the last one, obviously it's bigger than biking, bigger than just all together. But one of the themes is In Motion, and that's gonna be hosted by Segway. So I'm fascinated to see how that's going to play out when it comes to in-motion Segway stuff. So anyways, long story short, definitely plan your trip around First Friday. Well worth taking a trip into Bentonville during that time frame. And the second thing you definitely need to do when you're in Bentonville, Arkansas for your spring-summer trip is going to the farmer's market every single Saturday morning. So every single Saturday, as you probably have gathered so far, there's a farmer's market between like artisans, vegetables, fruit, cool things, all things that are kind of designed around Northwest Arkansas, like things to sell there. All pile into downtown Bentonville. Love it. It is from like 7:30 a.m. all the way till 1 p.m. Packed out, all the cool things, veggies, like honey, the whole thing. So it's all fun, cool things sourced from Arkansas and people that are making cool things. Like there's actually a blacksmith there, so you can see him. He's not making swords, but I should actually make him make a sword. But that's a different video. Anyways, but there's like blacksmiths there, obviously leather artisans there, all sorts of different cool things that are happening in the downtown section of Bentonville at the farmer's market. Another cool thing, there's this one guy named All Things NWA, Phillip Shepard. Oh, that's me. I'll have a booth there as well, so if you ever want to just pop on by the tent, you won't miss it. I'm actually on the square itself. But obviously, if you're in the farmer's market, definitely come by, grab an NWA starter pack, literally right there, and also itineraries, the whole thing. All my stuff is at the booth itself, so definitely come by and grab all the stuff. But definitely when you're in downtown Bentonville on the spring, summer time, and even on fall time for the farmer's market, definitely stop at the farmer's market every single Saturday. And the third thing you definitely need to do in the spring, summertime when you're visiting Bentonville, Arkansas, is you need to rent bikes. Now, you might be coming down, you might be obviously a mountain biking family coming down, checking out the whole area, bring your bikes, the whole thing. So if this is the case, definitely you can skip the renting bikes, obviously, and just grab your bikes, but you definitely need to hit the trail systems. But maybe, for instance, you are renting bikes and you just want to check out the area, definitely rent out bikes. There's plenty of bike shops in the area, as you have probably assumed. Rent a bike, and if you're maybe not into, obviously, hitting the trail system when it comes to biking, like maybe you're just more of like a cruiser, so to speak, then definitely rent bikes and hit up the Razorback Greenway. The Razorback Greenway is actually a 40-mile long paved pathway all the way from Bella Vista down to Fayetteville. But obviously there's a huge section that cuts through Bentonville, plus also other tributary pathways itself. But the nice thing about Bentonville is that there's a lot of shared roadways. There's a lot of actual Razorback Greenway. There's other, like, obviously paved pathways, and there's a lot of soft trail as well. So no matter what it is, rent a bike, check out the area, definitely hit the paths. Side note, if you are going to be renting bikes and you definitely are the whole thing, definitely check out the Ledger. The Ledger is kind of a co-working space, big business, small business, startup building in downtown Bentonville, just off the square a little bit. But the fun thing about actually the Ledger is that it's fully bikeable. So you can bike up it and then back down it, through it, the whole thing. So definitely check out the Ledger, just kind of go up it, and then you can check out the whole city from the very top. So that's kind of fun. So definitely check out the Ledger and definitely rent out bikes when you're in downtown Bentonville. Whoa, before we jump on to the next point, I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move down to Northwest Arkansas and you're using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. It sounds exactly what it is. It's literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below, name, like where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, all the things we need to know about home searches in Northwest Arkansas. Enter all that information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in downtown Fayetteville? When is First Fridays? What's going on at the farmers market? What new HQs are moving here? What's going on at the amphitheater? What's going on in Springdale? What's going on? So much. That's why I made an email. I just kind of talk about all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas every single Friday. So enter your name below, enter your email below. I'll make sure you get that email every single Friday, obviously. But side note, you will get a little fear of missing out, a little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you'll be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And number 4 of a thing that you definitely need to check out in downtown Bentonville when you're visiting the spring, summer season is both Crystal Bridges and the Momentary. Crystal Bridges is definitely more contemporary art, I would consider art that's like your normal art. It's going to be obviously a lot of paintings, a lot of sculptures, a lot of very Renaissance kind of things, of course. And the cool thing that it's not currently there at the moment, but the cool thing with like the Crystal Bridges is, first of all, massive. Secondly, there's an expansion coming, so it's going to double in size. And then thirdly, we had things like the Constitution there last year. We had the Bill of Rights. We had the Federalist Papers. So it was really cool to have, like, there's only like a couple copies of the Constitution left in America. So we had obviously that in Crystal Bridges. This ain't your grandma's actual museum. It's top tier, top level stuff. So definitely when you're in Crystal Bridges, definitely check it out. It is free, so that's cool. Secondly is at the Momentary, that's an old cheese factory in downtown Bentonville next to 8th Street Market. But the fun thing is that, also of course free, but the funny thing with the difference between the Crystal Bridges and Momentary, the Momentary is definitely a place that's like art that's like, we'll call it experiential. It's very interesting, different styles of art, very postmodern. So definitely worth checking out if you're just to be aware of it. Very fun, very cool. But Crystal Bridges is that very Renaissance contemporary art, definitely worth checking out because it is so fun. And the last thing before we move on to a bonus round, the last thing you need to do in Bentonville when you're coming down for the spring, summer season is definitely checking out the food. The food scene is very fun here. So the thing I love about the food around Northwest Arkansas is diversity. Like, it's just wild how many styles of different restaurants are in the area. All the way from ramen to Thai to pho to obviously a barbecue to American to Chinese, like everything. It's wild. And they're all very, very good. It is wild how many diverse food groups are actually in Bentonville, Arkansas. And some of my favorite restaurants in Bentonville that I would definitely check out are like the Preacher's Son, Tacos and Tamales. We got the Co-op, which is a ramen bar on 8th Street Market. We have Yayo's, which is just an amazing Mexican restaurant. It actually was in the top 100 best restaurants for the New York Times. So that's wild. Secondly is like Conifer. So there are so many different restaurants in Bentonville. That's just like the very, 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 very tip of like the iceberg there. So definitely check out all the restaurant scene when you're in town. You're gonna have way more restaurants that you can try. It depends on how long you stay for. If you buy a house here, you will have all the food forever. But anyways, definitely check out a lot of restaurants. Well worth the food scene here in Northwest Arkansas. Let's move on to my favorite time, bonus round, my favorite time, and we are gonna be talking about the Listening Forest. The Listening Forest is a audio, visual, light experience that is happening in actual Crystal Bridges. Tickets are not free, but they cost like just a little bit of money. But it is so cool to have literally a curated art experience with just light. So super cool. It does have to happen at nighttime. So, get your tickets at the right time because it's a lot of light going on. It's literally an art show in the forest. It's called the Listening Forest. And just a couple interesting things about it. It's like light show, and then they do interesting things with light. Like for instance, you actually like touch a ball of metal, and then the actual forest itself goes with your heartbeat. Super interesting and cool. There's like, I call this alphabet soup like pathway where there's like lights coming down from everywhere and it actually moves around as you go through the thing. And then there's like this, the actual listening forest part of it is like you stand on this bridge and there's like audio things that record you and then replay back to you after about 30 seconds or so. So super weird and interesting. There's light shows and like there's like this really cool thing where you actually like what do you call it, like controlled spotlights, and you actually can control them through the forest itself with like just like moving your arms. I was definitely a menace with this one, so I'm sorry for anyone whose eyes I pointed the spotlight into. I'm not sorry. It was totally intentional. But long story short, definitely check out the listening forest. Really cool and so fun. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary link below. Maybe you're a adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is, there's a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. So go ahead and download them and use them when you get down here. Also, when you come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, let's see you next one.